Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Sunita Techie. One email completely changed my career. I still remember checking my inbox every single day, hoping to see an update from Infosys. Every morning started the same way, opening my email, refreshing the page, and wondering, will today is the day. Then one day I saw email from the Infosys. My heart started racing. I opened it immediately, and the first word I noticed was congratulations. At the moment, I realized that the late night coding practice, interview preparations, and patience had finally paid off. In today's video, I share my complete journey of how I got Infosys offer through an off-campus drive a few years ago. I'll explain everything from applying the job and preparing the assessment to interview and the lesson I learned along the way. If you are preparing for emphasis today, many of these preparation strategies are still useful even though hiring process may have changed over the time. If you are watching my channel for the first time, please make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon. You never miss the latest hiring updates from top MNC companies. Today is not just another job preparation for this video. It's my personal journey, how I prepared, what mistakes I made, how I handle the pressure, and what helped me to finally receive an Infosys offer. My goal is that by end of this video you will have a much clearer idea of what to focus on your own preparation. So let's start from the very beginning. A few years ago, I was just like thousands of engineering students. There was an excitement about getting a software job, but there was also uncertainty. Even every day, I saw my friends applying to different companies. Some received interview calls, while others are still waiting. I knew one thing very clearly. I wanted to improve my coding skills and a secure good software job. Infosys was one of the companies I genuinely wanted to work for because of its lead learning opportunities, structured training, and strong reputation in the IT industry. So when I was came across the off-campus hiring opportunity, I decided to give it my best shot. I uploaded my resume, checked all my academic details carefully, and completed the application with full attention because even small make mistakes can yet delay your hiring process. Applying for Infosys. After filling in all the required details using the Infosys survey and filling after I have submitted my application process. Then come the hardest part, waiting. Every day I refreshed my inbox. At the first, nothing happened. A few days passed. Then another week, likely many candidates, I started wondering whether my application has been rejected. But I remind myself that recruitment timelines vary and it's important to stay patient instead of assuming the worst. While waiting, I don't stop preparing. Instead, I use it that to improve my coding and revise the technical concepts. And looking back, the decision made a big difference. When I received the assessment invitation, I knew preparation would matter more than luck. I made a simple daily plan. First, I focused data structures and algorithms. I practiced arrays, strings, linked list, stack, queues, trees, and basic graph concepts. Then I revised object-oriented programming because interview often expect candidates to explain concepts clearly. Most most importantly, I solved coding problems regularly instead of only reading solutions. That helped me become more comfortable thinking through problem under the pressure. Another thing I did was very recent academic projects. I made sure I could explain what problems it solved, why I chose the approach, which technology I used, what my personal contribution was, what challenges I faced. This preparation later helped me during the interview. The day of the assessment finally arrived. I made sure my laptop was fully charged, my internet connection was stable, and my workspace was quiet. Before the test started, I reminded myself not to panic. When the questions appeared, my first intent was not to solve the hardest one immediately. Instead, I quickly reviewed all the questions and started with one I felt most confident about. Completing an easier problem first give me confidence and help me manage my time better. Whenever I got stuck, I didn't waste too much time on a single idea. I move on, thought calmly, and come back with a fresh perspective. That simple strategy helped me to stay focused throughout the assessment. When I finally clicked the submit button, I was not sure what the result would be, but I know I had given my best effort. The assessment is over, but the journey was not. Now came the waiting period, a phase that tested patience more than the technical skills. Would I receive an interview call? How long would it take? What happened next completely surprised me. After submitting the assessment, I felt received, but at the same time, the real challenge had just begun. Now there was nothing left to expect wait. If you are ever waited for replacement results, you know how stressful those days can be. Every notification on my phone made me wonder, is this email I have been waiting for? Little did I know that the next email would take me one step closer to my dream job. The waiting period felt much longer than the assessment itself. Every morning, the first thing I did was check my email. Then I checked again in the afternoon, and one more begin going to the bed. Whenever I opened social media, I saw other candidates asking questions like, did anyone get shortlisted? Is the interview mail out? I'm still waiting. What about you? Reading those discussions made me realize I was not alone. Thousands of candidates were waiting for the same update. Instead of worrying all the day, I decided to use the time productively. I continued solving coding problems, revised the technical subjects, and prepared for interviews as if the interview call could came at the moment. Looking back, that was one of the biggest decisions I made. One day, while checking my inbox, I saw an email from the Infosys. For a second, I just started at the screen. I opened the email carefully. It informed me that I have been shortlisted for the interview round. I was excited, but I also knew that the toughest part of the process was still ahead. I immediately noticed down the interview date and started planning for my preparation. From the moment onwards, every day had a clear purpose. My preparation focused on four areas. First thing, my project. I knew interview often spend a lot of time discussing projects. So I revised every details like the problem statement, why I selected the project, technologies used, my individual contribution, challenges and solutions, possible future improvements. I also practiced explaining the project in simple language because interviewer appreciate clear communication. Second thing, core computer science. I revised object oriented programming, DBMS, SQL, operating systems, computer networks. Instead of memorizing definitions, I focused on understanding the concepts. Third one, coding practice. I continuously solving problems on arrays, strings, searching, sorting, recursion, and linked list. I practiced writing clean and optimized solution. And fourth thing, HR preparation. I prepared answers for common questions like, tell me about yourself, why Infosys, why should we hire you, are you willing to relocate, what are your strengths and weaknesses. Practicing these answers helped me feel more confident. I have made a video related to HR questions in my channel. Go and watch for that. On the interview day, I joined a little early to avoid any last minute technical issues. Here, it should be virtual interview for me in case you have a different timings like if you receive offline or online. I made sure my internet connection was stable, my surroundings were quiet, and all my documents were ready. When interviewer joined, I greeted them politely. The interview started with simple introduction. I briefly introduced myself, my education, my interests, and my project experience. The interviewer then moved to the technical questions. We discussed my project in detail. They want to know why I chose the project, how it worked, and what challenges I faced while building it. After that, they asked questions on programming concepts and few coding questions related topics. Whenever I was not completely sure about answers, I stay calm and explain my thought process honestly instead of guessing. That helped me maintain a positive conversation. After thanking the interviewer, the meeting ended. I felt received because I had given my best. Now there was another waiting period. Would I be selected? Would I receive the offer? Or would I have start preparing for all over again? At this point, there was nothing left to expect wait. Honestly, this was the most difficult phase of my entire journey because no matter how much you prepare, the final decision is no longer in your hands. If you are currently waiting for your Infosys results, I completely understand how that feels. After the interview, every day felt longer than usual. Whenever my phone vibrated, I immediately checked whether it was an email from Infosys. Every morning stated that same way. Open Gmail, refresh, nothing. And afternoon, still nothing. And I have checked evening, still again, no update. Like many candidates, I also started reading placement groups and online discussions. Others were still waiting. At the moment, I realized something important. Every candidate's timeline is different. Just because someone else receives an update before you does not mean you have been rejected. The realization helped me stay positive. Instead of checking my email every hour, I decided to focus improve myself. I practiced coding and I revised my project again. I updated my resume. I also started applying to other companies. This is one lesson I always share with freshers. Never stop applying after one interview. Keep learning, keep improving because every interview makes you better prepared for next one. Then came the day I have been waiting for. I opened my inbox as usual. There it was an email from Infosys. For a moment, I just looked at subject line. I opened it carefully. I started reading. I saw that I had successfully cleared the process. I can't fully describe that feeling now. Months of preparation and hours of coding, mock interviews, the waiting, everything suddenly felt worth it. I immediately shared the news with my family. Their happiness made me the moment even more special. I received the offer was just not about getting a job. It was proof that consistent effort eventually produces results. When I saw the offer letter details, I felt both excited and grateful. At the same time, I know this was not the finish line. It was beginning of new learning journey. Joining a company like Infosys also means taking responsibilities, learning continuously and adapting to new technologies. There are a few lessons that I completely changed my perspective. Lesson 1: consistency is more important than studying for one day. Daily practice matters. Lesson 2: don't ignore your project. Interviewer may spend several minutes for discussing it. Know every feature, every challenge, and every discussion you made. Lesson 3: communication matters. Even if you don't know every answer, explain your thought process clearly, leaves a positive impression. Lesson 4: never compare your journey with someone else. Every candidate receives an update at different times. Patience is part of the hiring process. Lesson 5: confidence means confidence comes from the preparation. The more yourself practice, calmer you feel during interviews. If you are preparing for Infosys today, remember that the recruitment process can change over time. Always follow the latest official instructions from the Infosys. No matter where you are in your journey, preparing for assessment, waiting for interview results, or hoping for an offer, keep learning and don't stop applying for other opportunities as well. One selection can completely change your career, but It's the effort you put in every day that gives you a best chance of reaching the moment. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel Sunita Techie for more hiring updates from top MNC companies like Infosys, Deloitte, TCS, Cognizant and Accenture. Comment below which stage you are currently in, whether you are in application stage or assessment or waiting for interview or interview stage or waiting for your results. I'll do my best to answer your questions. I hope all the very best for your application process with Infosys. I hope you will get your offers soon. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.